Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Nerd the Human, and welcome back to our Rome Remastered Rebels campaign. And of course, you join us in southern Italy, where Capua is under siege. Indeed, today we have a huge pile of factions that we can take out of the game altogether. Of course, the Brutii are sitting up here in Segestica in their final city. The odd army scattered around, but pretty much we managed to hold them back and simultaneously build up plenty of forces in northern Italy. We'll just ignore the Gauls for the time being. Elsewhere, the Greeks are down to one rioting city that might well soon be ours. The Macedonians are down to just Bilazora. The Thracians down to just the Campus Getae. Pontics are down to just Ankara. And indeed the Seleucids also just down to Bostra. And I bet those last two we can head in and defeat them right now. So I think that's probably a good idea. And those two will be particularly fun because they definitely need to have themselves a fair few units lying around. I can see, yes, over here, a good old general who will immediately flip over to us once we take out the faction. It'll be marvellous. And the Pontics have us under siege in, I think, 4 cities. Yes, 4 cities under siege from Pontus. But that doesn't matter once we take Ankara. So perhaps we'll start there. That one seems... I mean, it'll be a bit of a nothing battle, but the result, oh, that will be delicious. Elsewhere, well, I suppose, yes, actually, we have Cyprus over here. My generals have sailed over from Athens. We picked up a few mercs on the way, and they've turned up at Salamis. So the gates are open here. Yes, indeed they are. So that's another battle we can get on with before we end the turn. So, yes, this is looking like a delicious episode. Pretty much prepping us for the assault on Rome. We'll be ready for that next episode, I would think. But in the meantime, yes, it's very much a case of how many factions can we eliminate today. So let's start off at Ankara, as I just said, because this should lead to quite a few generals flipping over to us. And of course, Thrace was our great hero last time we did this campaign. He doesn't seem to exist this occasion. He was, I think, an auto-generated name. Even if he wasn't, even if he exists somewhere, who knows? We're going to have plenty of Pontic leaders once this is done. It should be a simple enough affair. Let's head in. As you might well imagine, it's not going to end very well for these lads. They're pretty much going to get shot down where they stand. No opposition at the gates. So, yes, just strolling in with our beautiful mercenaries from Asia Minor. Oh, this is a delicious place once you have yourselves some money and a general. I think that's why this worked out so well for us last time. If you're going to do a Rebels campaign for yourself, yes, definitely base yourself around the Aegean. It's certainly going to be the best way you can play this. Now, we're going to shoot in. They're not going to last very long. They might kill a couple of us. Yeah, a couple of our chaps died there in the charge, but that's about it. Flaming arrows, I think, are the order of the day at this point. We'll send in some flaming shots into the rear. And that is the battle right there. But no, it's the last city, so we'll shoot them down. We'll shoot every last one of the fiends. If they're brave enough to come here and die, then they are most welcome indeed. I think that's what they're trying to do. Can't seem to decide what they're doing, can they? Ah, lovely. And yeah, as I said last episode, the pyjamas. So yeah, you should really get on this whole pyjama thing. And don't miss out on the new limited edition blazing pyjama outfit. You'd be flaming mad to miss out. And with that, Ankara falls, and we should grab ourselves a big pile of Pontic generals. Oh yes, besides the Black Sea side, indeed we are, sir. We'll occupy that. And the sad destruction of Pontus. I like Pontus, they're one of my favourite factions. But they're also one of my favourites on the Rebels campaign, because now, oh, their scattered generals have joined us. So we have Cottis of Logodacia, which will probably... He'll just run into the city there. We have ourselves, 3 units of Eastern Infantry. Won't mind if I do. Another unit over there. Absolutely marvellous. We have Dionysus himself has joined the party, as you might well expect him to do. Unlucky leader. So he's faced us before, hasn't he? But +2 morale. Absolutely magnificent. Is he the one who ran away from the battle yesterday? We said, I'll see you again. He might be. I'm not really sure. And we have one last guy over here. This is not a cast of Thrace, in Enthymus of Persinus. Oh, lovely. Yeah, they're not the worst generals either, are they? He's got sharp as well. Isn't that magnificent? So, we've got ourselves some new generals, which might be useful. We don't have any money right now, but I've spent it all this turn, obviously. But it will give us a few new lads to go ahead into Armenia before long, although that won't really be the focus for the time being. Yeah, this is the army of infantry who decided to give up their lives so nobly to those group of peasants. Yes, even so, even despite the horrendous... Actually, no, that wasn't the peasants. Of course, militia hoplites died to the general. The Eastern infantry died to the peasants. That was truly, truly embarrassing and spectacular in fairly equal measure, if I'm honest. I would like to build myself a watchtower. I'm just going to build it right here. Probably not ideal. But Dionysus, get yourself in there. That was apparently a terrible position, but it's done now. What's done is done. And at this point, we might as well just plod a few of these around. I'm just going to continue to say sod, actually, to this retraining because I'm much more interested in watchtowers. They're pretty much my favourite thing to do on this game. So you'll probably find, before next episode, there's just watchtowers dotted around the world, wherever I've got some generals. Lovely. So we gained ourselves several generals there, a few new troops for the kitty. What that means is we can sort of gather our forces from Asia Minor and send those up to Armenia and the remnants of Parthia. Now, yeah, we need to send these horse archers to go and finish off this army over here. We dealt with the other straggling army outside Seleucia, but we do need to take these guys out. And then swing these back down south because we're going to need some help against the Egyptians. I think some horse archers will make a difference because we really, really struggle against all their phalanxes, especially when we've only got Eastern infantry. Eastern infantry are not the job. They can just about defend the city, but in the open field, no, it's not going to fly. So, Seleucids, you're next on the list. Let's take you out. Likewise, should be the toughest battle for units of militia hoplites. I have 4 units of archers, 6 units of archers, sorry, plenty of archers. Oh, they're going to go down quickly. No great speech for the Seleucids then, just a single line, and pretty uninspiring it was. But it's a nicer city, it should be said. I like the Greek style once you're into slightly more deserty terrain. Very nice with the palm trees around. Just a basic shrine to Asclepios. Oh, yes, of course, a very nice one to have there. Deals with the squalor, although I think the squalor has been slightly changed in the remastered, but we'll get into squalor another time. I was looking at a video at that in the future, so we won't worry about any of that. Let's get ourselves set for the battle. I think it's mostly going to be, yeah, slaughter by archer. I hadn't noticed quite how wibbly the effects were in the desert heat, which is interesting. It feels I feel a little bit sick actually. It's a kind of a nice effect, but perhaps a little bit on the strong side. Anyway, got a few units here to be shot down. As I say, plenty of archers to do that filthy, filthy work. So, as ever, we'll be here to watch them fall. But they do have their shield side facing us, so they'll probably take a few of the hits a bit better than normal. But to be honest, they're probably going to go down pretty easily. There's a general somewhere. He's hiding just back here. No long-range archers for us today. So sadly, not much doing there. But these guys, oh, they've really made a mistake standing around here, haven't they? Yeah, they're pretty much already dead, and our rams only just arrived. It's potentially as well organised as I've been in a long time for taking a plaza. We've got ourselves our archers around the little trap here. Of course, plenty of spearmen to do the job. Some archers behind here, yet more to back them up. Flaming arrows coming in, doing a terrible job, as ever flaming arrows tend to do, because apparently the accuracy goes completely ludicrous. So maybe we'll just take that off and they can actually do their proper work. Thank you very much. So are they actually going to come in, or are they just going to get shot forevermore? Looks like they want to get shot forevermore. These guys, to be honest, could cause a few problems for a moment, but I suspect their morale isn't going to hold long enough, is it? If the general wants to come in, though, that's fine by me. We'll focus at aiming on the hoplites, and we'll just let the infantry do their work. You can all go onto guard mode, to be honest. That's fine by me. And we'll just see how this all chunks away. That's officially victory, but no, we're not having that. We're going to shoot them down and shoot them in the back, because that's what we do to those kind of fiends. Now, the buildings do get away an awful lot on the remaster when you're trying to actually, like, click on something. But I've just about managed to find the general here, so there we go. Keep shooting him down, lads. This time we're going to make sure these guys actually try and get the surround on. There we go, come on. And that's the surround we need at this point. He will go down. Let's watch the last Seleucid, Basileus, the last king of the Seleucids fall. There's Antiochus himself. I don't think he is technically called Antiochus. Antiochus the final. And was that him? I didn't really see him fall properly there, but apparently that's him dead. Not the most dignified of ends for him, but a few more archer shots and we'll have the day as officially ours. Well, it should be said that for a short time the Seleucids had me a little bit worried during this campaign because they were certainly taking a lot more territories than I'm used to them having, and I think that huge battle, the Battle of Pride Rock, the Massacre of Pride Rock, made a huge difference actually just outside Antioch. AI didn't have the best time trying to figure out what to do, but our archers just absolutely slaughtered them. And with that, we'll find, oh yeah, Hellenism's end indeed. Indeed, it is now over, and we will occupy once again and see the end of the Seleucid Empire. We can be, what, no more than 15 minutes into the episode right now, and that is 2 factions down. It's a new general as well, and you, sir, aren't the worst. Good commander, strategy, and sharp. Another sharp lad. Very nice indeed. And one peasant. One peasant's joining the army. It's good to have you along, Steve. It's good to have you along. Who else do we have? Good old Strategos. Yes, that's apparently that's me now. Good commander and command talent. Okay, it's just nice to have some generals. Really, we'll plonk a tower up on the hill here because apparently I have a bit of money after a bit of sacking. That'd be grand. And I don't know what you're going to do. To be honest, lads, we could really do with some actual generals to get on with these armies. So you can join up. You can see here I am starting to send some men along. I've grabbed some more from over here. Tarsus. Oh, yes, of course, with the army at Salamis to take care of as well. Yeah, they're going to come across. We've got these generals. Just as our generals arrive, we get some. So we'll have 4 generals over here. Perhaps you, sir, then. Your job perhaps can be to go towards Seleucia. Yes, that would be a good plan, I reckon. So take your men. You can leave those 6 behind. They can do their work. We can just hold the fort, so to speak. And from there, what we're going to do. The Bostra army definitely needs to head this way. And I think these horse archers are going to come down to Damartha before joining us in this part of the world. Petra will have to try and hold on for a few turns. Can we reinforce it? We might be able to, actually. Might just have a chance of that. So where are the peasants? Do we have any peasants left in this army? No, we don't. So you've got East Infantry are basically peasants anyway. So we'll do that. We can reinforce next turn if they don't attack. If they do, it'll be a bit late, but hey ho, that will just have to be the way it goes, and we'll see if we can defend against that. So, faction destroyed, 256 is the year, and is it still the summer? It's still the summer, so we've still got time this year to take out more factions. Oh, that's lovely. The great year of many a destructed faction. Okay, Salamis it is now. That should be a simple enough one, although there are some reinforcements to take care of. So just got to bear that one in mind. What's in the reinforcements? Just more Nubian spearmen. A bit awkward to take on, actually. We don't have all the missiles in the world. So we need to be a bit careful, but I think we'll be fine. Javelins will have to do a bit of work just to make sure it turns the tide of battle in our favour. But if we can catch these guys out in the field, we should be able to take care of them without too many issues. Let's head in. It's a beautiful morning here in Cyprus, as you might well expect, and it's time to throw in our javelins, I think, because we are getting well into range of all of these chaps. Cavalry should just keep them dancing for a little while. Let's throw in what we have, lads. Let's throw it in. A few javelins doing their work there. These guys are getting a little bit close, and they do tend to break immediately in my experience. I don't know why some people talk about these guys if they're somehow brilliant. I find they're pretty darn terrible, actually. So, lads, do you want to get yourself out of there anytime? That'd be great. Lovely stuff. Okay, the generals are just keeping them dancing pretty nicely here. They're now shaken, which is probably for the best. Keep on moving back. They've thrown maybe 1 javelin in, but yeah, maybe just pull yourself out of there now. You guys are kind of skirmishing into the enemy at this point, which isn't necessarily ideal. Cavalry charge into the back of them, pretty much end their career. And indeed, they're gone. These guys... Right, pull out of that one. Yeah, we got him. A little bit concerned for a moment that we might just have one of those unlucky deaths with the general charge. But no, we've got them absolutely dealt with. Cilicians really need to learn how to move. That chap just got himself murdered. And I think, to be honest, at this point, we can turn around and finish off this guy with another charge. Where's my other general, by the way? He should be somewhere around here. I seem to have lost him. Anyway, it's all fine because they're now broken as well. You into them and you into them. At this point, to be honest, we're pretty much out of missiles. So actually, you chaps, Don't waste any more. Hold back what you've got. I need you just to move out of the way. Just keep a couple of those back. That will be lovely. At this point, we're just going to try and get the surround and we'll break them. We've got a break here then. The Cilician pirates have done something useful for the first time in all of history. And with that, we are... Well, we've probably got one volley left from these guys here to mop them up. But, well, we might have to have a bit of a proper fight with the old infantry. You guys seem to have failed, if I'm honest, to pick them up as they've gone past. I mean, you've got a few, so fair enough to these guys. But, yeah, maybe we should have just stood in front of the gate. That probably would have been a much more sensible plan. Anyway, that's most of them gone. It's a lovely morning here. Look at that. Glistening. Obviously, as I was trying to set up, one of the units wandered onto the plaza and immediately broke because they're numpties. All you had to do, lads, was set up over here in a phalanx. That's literally your job. So. As we do that, we might as well throw a volley in. That's about all we can do, to be honest. And we'll just watch them come into us. Can you just try and turn slightly? Can you try and organise yourself some point in the next hour? That would be love. What are they doing? Lots of these infantry were definitely the more stupid of the two, but they seem to be trying to outdo them on this occasion, which they're currently achieving. Definitely achieving. I might have to send cavalry round the flank, but to be honest, this unit had ran off to a far gate, so there was no point of that at the time. But oh well. Well, let's see what we can do anyway. Let's just start slowly walking towards the enemy. We have two phalanxes. This one is flanking on the non-shield side, so it should be a very simple... What are you doing? Why have you changed the swords? The others are coming in, which is probably okay. See? Peltas. Get yourself over here. The other unit who fled but didn't really lose anyone are now into the battle. They're not really flanking us, which is probably for the best. Generals probably need to move up here just to give us some sort of moral support, because they're probably going to lose pretty terribly. How much have you lost? They've lost 49. We're getting absolutely slaughtered here in spite of the flanking, which is odd and kind of worrying. So again, are you gonna... No, why would you do that? Just go here. What is the pathfinding on this game? Well, we're going to lose terribly because they can't pop... Right, just get out of there, because if you can't go around, there is no point. Right, you guys just pull out. These guys need to go back onto hoplite mode. And... Oh, God, this... Why are hoplites such a disaster? And now they're all fleeing because, of course, they are. How easy was it to beat them out on the open field? And then the moment we get anywhere near the plaza, they just go insane. Are they now fleeing through... They're fleeing through them as well. What are you doing? Just get out. Get out. So with my entire army running straight through their lines, we might well lose this now, which would be an impressive state of affairs, it should be said. But no, we're going to lose this now, which is just brilliant. We are going to try and get a cavalry on top. Why are you going that way now? I'm sending you around this way for a reason, you numpty. Actually, if they're going to chase them, might give us a good chance to get a good hit on them here. So you get yourselves here, you get yourselves here, and just keep chasing them down, lads. That'll be perfect. Sadly, they decide to turn around. Oh! The enemy general's dead. Oh, the Seleucians have been doing some work. Yes, did send them in a kind of doom charge, but yes, apparently they have actually done something useful, which is, I guess, okay, because they're about to lose pretty badly. They're actually fighting very well. Well done, my sirs. I'm quite surprised, but kind of pleased at the same time. Blow the horn of destiny, sir. Don't need you dying. Are they going to turn around? They're still not turning around. Just keep poking them from that side, please, and we'll keep stabbing them. We have a chance. They're still trying to attack us this way. This is brilliant. Okay, this battle is slightly more ludicrous than it ever needed to be. But, you know, welcome to the remaster. All sorts of things are going wrong. Might need to do a pathfinder. If I could have got around the back of them with my Illyrians, I would probably be been fine. But now they don't even want to turn around. They're getting great experience as they die, but that pretty much seems to be them dying. There goes the other general. Lovely stuff. They still won't turn around, which is frankly ludicrous. I don't actually know what's happening at this point. The Cilicians have failed on the plaza, but what is left, a few scrapes here or there. So, yeah, a few men left to hold the city. My men really should come back, but they are not going to, are they? No, they're not. As ever, it's very important that we move delicately around the plaza, and whilst this was always a little bit awkward on the original, there certainly wasn't quite so much jangling around. I mean, maybe it's worse because we can see the arrows, but certainly it does feel a little bit ridiculous. Come on, lads, keep on moving over. Not like that. Like that. Again, why would you do... Oh, it's absolutely ludicrous, isn't it? Right, get yourselves into these guys. That would be lovely. Gallop on into them. Not like that. Once again. Okay, everyone, don't get yourself completely. Okay, we kind of did what I didn't want us to do, which isn't necessarily ideal. General, get yourself out of there for a moment. Is that our general died? Not quite, actually. Not quite. Get yourself over there. Get yourself back into it. We'll hit them at the same time if we're lucky. Blow the horn of destiny. And that should, with a big splatter of men, hopefully, be this unit pretty much defeated. Is that them gone? Down to 3. Yeah, we're almost there. This should have been such a simple little affair. I almost auto-resolved originally because I thought it should be fine. The reinforcements slightly altered that, but even so, just ridiculous. Right, they're slowly walking towards the final unit. Wow, they went flying, didn't they? And with that, that should be everyone over. Watch as my general dies now for no good reason. Neither of them are quite dead, and we've got it. Woof. Victory all the same, in spite of all the stupidity that went on. It should have been a nice, even spearman battle. We actually had the angle on them. We were actually doing the flanking. We had men behind. We went on the plaza, but we had tons of men behind to help. And, oh well, you know what? We did the job. That's the main thing. With the extermination of Salamis, then, we can immediately go and send our lads straight on the boats with, yeah, apparently a couple of units of militia hoplites who, for some reason, survived the battle. Not really sure how. The rest of them get to live out their days in the city. No dishonour on the mercenary Peltas. They were never going to do that well against the phalanx. But, yes, I'm not very impressed with the militia hoplites. These Cilician pirates get to rule the island from here on in. I think that's perfectly fair. Now these chaps will head over to Sidon. We already have a Seleucid general, of course. Some more troops on their way, and I think we could do with as much as we can to go and take on the Egyptians, who have just been holding off so far. But I think a few horse archers from the Parthian territories and a few of the militia hoplites should help us take on the Nubian spearmen. The phalanxes, of course, yeah, going to rip apart our eastern infantry as we... Well, they just did it to the militia hoplites as well, of course, but I think they have a slightly better chance in that battle, to be honest with you. Anyway, as for the rest of our men over here in Anatolia and Asia Minor and all of that nonsense, we have ourselves some new Pontic generals, and at the moment, some of these towns are Greek, and I like Greek, but a few of them are actually also Macedonian. So we've got Macedonian over here, Macedonian over here, Macedonian over here, and they're not particularly useful to us. I'd much rather have Greek or indeed Pontic. So we might see one or two of these flip over next time, particularly with the Pontic general here. I'm hoping we can get them some Pontic heavy cav in time. That'd be very nice to see. Now, yeah, obviously we were going to head up here in time. No need to worry about that anymore. What about the rest of our plans? Well, Capua will fall next turn, as will Segestica. I don't think anywhere else is ready to go, though, at the moment. We've got Campus Getae over here, which needs to be dealt with in time. Oh, we have ourselves a lovely little army down here. Good thing to have a little search around. With Captain Mutinies. Exceptional. That's lovely. Some mutinies here didn't take part in the mutiny, strangely. We can probably take them out with a little bit of a poke. I think that'll be a-okay. And otherwise, yeah, we're just kind of holding time over in this part of the world. We'll see what we can do about the Greeks as well. There's another spy hidden over to them. Maybe that will cause them some more problems. Carthage, of course, have a couple cities. I'm not sure we're going to be able to take them out today. We do have some troops floating around the desert. Not really enough to do anything. But maybe with a lucky pop-up of a unit here or there, maybe we'll have an opportunity. Who knows? Anyway, I need to mop up. We'll have a little look what's going on in the map, and I'll end my turn. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, but it's the final days of the Brutii, who will soon be slaughtered in their final city. Oh, that will be marvellous. But I should point out before we get to that, that things might well look a little bit different to how they were before, because I was having a lot of problems with the game crashing every time I pressed end turn there. And I've had to go back to, well, the previous episode actually, one of the save files from there. So I've had to replay a fair little chunk, and suffice to say things won't be exactly the same. I don't know what would be the main differences to point out. Probably a few places like this I've auto-resolved and I've ended up losing more than I might otherwise have done. We're in Salamis. This didn't happen the same way. I just auto-resolved, so this army never got beaten. We're just walking along a little boat bridge here. But yes, sadly we still need to deal with this guy, and I forgot to deal with him. So we'll send our lads over here in time. But just to point out, if there are a few little discrepancies, that will be why. A little bit frustrating, but hey-ho. I managed to make it work again. It seems to be running fine now. This is, of course, the next turn anyway, so you can see that things are hopefully going to finish up fine, and we're not going to have any issues before we get to Rome, because, yes, I really don't want the game to start breaking just before we get to a good old Roman finale here. But, of course, we do have a few battles to take care of. I believe Capua is ready to go down. We'll take care of that in a moment. Suggestica likewise. The Campus Getae, I think that I just put that under siege this turn. Who knows what's going on anymore? Indeed, that's the last Thracian settlement. And by the Zora, oh yeah, I forgot about the plague, ladies and gents. I forgot about the plague, and I like the old symbol better. This is somewhat a bit worrying. A bit discerning, to be honest. Right, we do have another army to go and take out these chaps. It's terrible, but it will have to do, because the rest of the army that I've been building up over here, full of all my javelins and cavalry, yeah, they're now plagued, and they're going to annoy me forevermore. Whereas the Amazon chariots are making their way over here. Salona is safe from those Greeks and Brutii who are floating around. They've given up with the new army having arrived. So yeah, things are looking pretty good. And as for the Greeks, we've got 2 spies in here now. And we're going to send a little forces, a few men on the boat here. Hopefully there'll be some mercs when we land, and we'll just, if it doesn't rebel, we'll just take it, because to be honest, I quite like to take out another faction, because why ever not, eh? Why ever not? But I think it's time to head into these 2 towns, because these are the key ones. So let's have a third battle which ends with a dead faction, unless they have a secret settlement somewhere. I don't know where that might be, but there we are. So Cassius Brutus, a good solid name for a Brutii chap, but only some Hastati. No Principe on his army. He's going to go down pretty simply, I would think. Let's head in. Hastati going down at the gate, getting absolutely slaughtered by our Illyrian chaps, taking back all of their homelands, of course. And yes, it's particularly horrible looking evening, isn't it? Blustery, snowy nights, and no, the barbarians. These are the days where the Dark Knight comes to take the Romans away. Indeed, if they do come back, they'll just get themselves slaughtered once again. So I'll buy my time. See if the general wants to wander down this way, take a few javelins, but before long, probably should start getting our infantry down this direction. Militia Cav has just about got itself caught in the trap, but that's okay. To be honest, it should do a better job at pulling the Roman general in. Come on, my good sir, get pulled into the trap. You want to keep on running this way, don't you? I know you do. Okay, it looks like we're just about going to do this. Let's get the warband onto war cry mode. They're just hiding around the side over here. Yep, and in they come to battle. Okay, you guys get in. You chaps, around the back, please. Yep, you get yourselves around here. Just sneak around there the best you can. Yep, the pathfinding is something. There we are, we got around the side. Just about in time to pounce up at this general. Can we just about hack him? Not quite going to manage it. Looks like we missed him. Unfortunate, but pretty much taken out in the first little charge. A few of my horses did actually get shot by the towers as I sent them running out of the city. And, yeah, looks like they... Oh, we javelined him! That's the way he feels. Doesn't even fall in an honest infantry battle. No, he gets taken out by militia cav. I do like militia cav, but they are getting somewhat hit by maybe some of those javelins. And yeah, we're going to be caught out just a little bit, but it's okay. I reckon we should have them at this point. To be honest, just get on top of them. Just do your dirty, dirty work. in classic fashion on the remasters, I can't actually click on this road at any point because this building has such a big random area around it. I can't actually click where I want to at any point. But what I'm trying to do is get the peasants near enough to waste their pilum. Seems to be what's about to happen. One bodyguard left to take on the peasants, and if you want to finish him off, my good sirs, there we go. The last Roman general falls to the rabble, the barbarian peasants of all. Actually, it's the Roman peasants. Oh well, it's fine. Right, waste all of their javelins, my good sirs. You've wanted onto the plaza, which was slightly stupid, but you might well get away with it. Is that them done? Yeah, they are now ready. That means we can send the rest in. No, peasants, you've done your job, don't worry. Down to the final reckoning then, and we've got our Illyrians to throw in some javelins at the Hastati. Obviously, we've already wasted their pilum, and they're going to charge into militia hoplites, which is the one battle they might just be able to win and keep these Hastati at bay. One or two might try and sneak through the gap in the middle. This guy's being javelined in the back. Sorry about that, Steve. Nonetheless, that should be the end of these chaps now, sir. Blow the horn of destiny. Good old Cunfoy here. One more battle for his victory parade, and no. They all get cut down. We finish them off properly on super high speed, of course. There he goes. The last Brutii. And I think there were a few floating outside Ariminum, but to be honest, they're now ours, aren't they? There we are. A few defeats, a few men defeated there on the battlefield, but by and large, another big victory for Cunfoy. That should be the end of it, and with that, I'll just sneak myself an extra general as well. Isn't that absolutely marvellous? There we go, brutal defeat. Indeed it was. We'll just occupy, and with that, every true Roman will rejoice in the overthrowing of these fake Romans. Yes, have it, Vatinius, have it. So, with that then, we have Suggestica. It's all ours once again. This chap now, Cornelius Ammonius, is one of ours. As is, oh gosh, there's tons of them around. Julianus himself, Rupilius. Okay, we've gained ourselves a couple units, some town watch. Another lad over here. Fine. Now, I don't want to take on Cleomenes of Sparta. I would like to get down to Salona. Yeah, we'll jump in the boat. That's the best way of doing it, my good sir. Get in the boat. And now you can come join Pirate City. That would be absolutely marvellous. As for you, sir, I think for commanders, well, disinherited. Oh, that's unfortunate, but that's kind of my fault. He's got some good stats here. Understand strategy and sharp. He's only 23. Fort command early on. Pretty good. I should probably have checked if this guy was any better. You know what? He's got some nice stuff as well. Can't argue with that. Okay, could use these two to take back Rome. I like it very, very much indeed. Okay, you go over here. You get yourself back towards Batavium. We need someone to go and relieve us of the Gallic problems, actually. So, yeah, a couple Hastati, some Equites. You get yourself to Batavium as well. Good, a few units in here. Now, I guess we might... So Batavium, I'm not sure we'll be able to fit that one to Roman. But I wouldn't mind a Roman town. They're quite tricky to get in terms of the culture flips. We managed it on my little guide video to the Rebels campaigns when I went up to Briton and I showed how we could flip some of those to Scipione. Only seems to be Scipione, so I don't know if we actually will need Scipione. I don't think we do. I can't quite recall the ins and outs of it. But we did send a Pontic general in here last term. So do we have... No, we haven't got a change of culture. Interessante. Okay, let us grab all of these men, apart from the general. We'll send you all over to the Bridge of Doom, and we'll send you out as well. So, we've got ourselves our good old town there, Sinope. That's fine by me. I'm going to leave it empty for just one turn here, and I'm going to see what happens, because I might try and convert that one, because Pontic would be very nice indeed. Grab ourselves a watchtower. I know really traditionally use watchtowers to watch out for, the rebels. But no, that's what we're going to do with this chap. Abraham is, well, as I say, the godly named rulers. The biblical names are always good ones in my experience, but you will lay down watchtowers. That's an important job, my good sir. Another important job, though, is, of course, Capua, which has some tricky units here to take care of, but honestly, we do have a pretty darn solid army. 2 Principes, Velite, Hastati. I don't know if they have walls or not. I can't see the city anymore because the game Another small thing. Just can't move around to see anything anymore. Withdraw for a second. No, not proper walls. Fine. Anyway, we'll get the music to start over again. Thank you very much. There we are. So, yeah, we have plenty to take them on. Without actual stone walls, their real main advantage is gone. Julianus, Scipio. There's all Julianuses here today, aren't they? We need to take them out. We have ourselves some Cretan archers to shoot them from range. That should help us an awful lot. Let's head in. It's another cold and blustery night to take on the Romans. I like to think it's the exact same night, actually, that we take out the Brutii and we take the Scipio's homeland away from them. Now, we would expect a few javelins to be coming in, but these guys don't constitute enough of the unit for us to recognise their existence. Probably for the best, otherwise it'd be a little bit of a waste of ammo, but quite why they're here by themselves, I don't know. The rest of the unit is yet to pass through the Triumphal Arch. Yes, I thought we'd walk through here on our way to the plaza. Someone's trying to set it on fire. There we are. A few of the Cretans seem to recognise that these guys count. Apparently they do. Then we would just turn them off until they all arrive properly. Into battle we go then. Right at the edge of the plaza, a few javelins and a few arrows coming in here or there. Indeed, you might notice the numbers have gone down a bit. We actually lost quite a few to the arrow towers inside the city, which I would have thought on this level of wall. This is just level 1 wall, isn't it? Yeah, very strange. Very strange indeed. So something to be wary of. Wasn't really expecting that, but we did get caught out just a little bit. Anyway, the general hasn't come quite yet. Where are my Samnites, by the way? You should really be getting here like now. You're supposed to be the backup infantry in this particular affair. There you are. I find the Samnites are a lot more solid on this than they were in the original game. I always found them a little bit disappointing. They should be, you know, pretty nice, anti-cav light infantry. They always felt like they just collapsed in the original. So that's a nice little change I found. It might just be entirely my impression of it, but I do feel like they're slightly better. We're going to take a shot at the general then, try and pull him in. We haven't seen him engage yet, but that's the point of the Cretans. Go on, my good Cretans. Pull him in. I think he's finally going to do it. No, yes, no, yes, no, yes, yes, he's going to die. And that should be the end of this at this stage. A few arrows left from the archers. Honestly, whatever you've got left, just throw them in. I think it is, I think it's the Velite at the back. I'll throw in the odd bit in. Now, I decided to use my mercenary hoplites because they're easier to retrain than my actual normal Greek hoplites, of course. There's the general right there at the front. Anyone want to, like, Steve, any of you, just poke. They don't know how to phalanx, do they? Really, really don't know how to phalanx. But that guy knows how to sword, so there we are. The Roman leader is dead. Don't know how many Scipione lads are lying around, but they've obviously still got Corsica, Sardinia. Well, there's one settlement on this, of course. They've got Corsica, Sardinia, but they also do have Messana still. We might be able to take care of that in time. We'll probably deal with them very, very soon indeed. General is running off. We'll send the Samnites in to go and deal with the Velites. And these guys will just march slowly forward into the general. Generals come back into battle, but Samnites should be absolutely fine. Get themselves a nice hefty shield. A little bit of armour here or there. They'll be absolutely grand. Still one full unit of infantry left on the plaza. I hadn't noticed that. There are some Principe left to take on, and I think we should probably get running, Mr. Samnites. You're supposed to be flanking them. Anytime you want to flank. I asked you to be over there. They're now getting charged. Okay, this isn't the battle you're supposed to be taking part in, Mr. Samnites. This isn't your kind of battle against heavy sword infantry. But okay, we'll just have to do it. Right, well, hopefully we'll bleed them to death with with a little bit of a pokey from the phalanx. We'll get the general in the back. We're going to set him up like a medieval 2, because the plazas can be a little bit awkward. Turn around and charge. Samnites, don't get in the way. They got in the way a little bit. And that should be a big hit. I mean, they say wavering, but they're just mainly dead at this point, aren't they? And that is pretty much the battle right there. A few more losses than I would have liked at the end. But hey-ho, what can you do? The Samnites didn't listen to what I told them to do. And that seems to be a common theme on the old remaster. But there we are. That's just one of the annoying little things. 20 Principes. One more Velite, who seems to be just about dead. And that is the battle right there. We'll speed it up. And that is the capital now under our control. Victory and glory. Capua is now ours. We're going to exterminate that. That gives us a nice bucket of money to get on with all sorts of nonsense. Now, I need to find a way of pulling some of these guys out of this city here. I need to wait for the right moment, and if I can open the gates, run in, take the city, that could be interesting indeed. So we're going to have to work out a little plan for all of this. I think that's what we're going to do. I'm going to give a little bit more javelin cav because I wouldn't mind a bit more of that. And likewise up here, yeah, we'll get the hoplites of the javelins in this direction. So we're getting the trader. Yeah, so infrastructure is somewhat not the best. House of Brutii, if in case you need reminding, resistance is indeed futile, and the rebels will have you burnt down. So the Scipii are now left with those two settlements there. Nothing too much to be worried about. Did I mention Thapsus got taken? Thapsus got taken, by the way. Sadly, the reinforcements are a little bit too late. They're not really going to do anything, either those guys, but we'll send them on anyway. We'll see what we can do. Right, I think it is time to end our turn. So we'll just have to see what opportunities come our way. Now, we do have some agents in here. So there's a small chance we can open the gates next turn, which would be ideal. So quite like to do that. Although, could I just send in the Cav? They've got 3 generals of their own. I don't think I could bat them off with mine, to be honest. So we'll just wait it out. We'll see if we get lucky with a spy next turn. But yeah, I think it's time just to mop up, spend a bit of money, end our turn, and see what happens. And of course, the end turn brought us nothing but pain and misery as the game crashed again and again and again. So what you'll find is we are now several turns ahead, and essentially what's happened is every time I do virtually anything in the turn, like a couple little things like a battle here or there, the game decides, no, it won't process the end turn. So what I've done is I've flipped through the turns, I've continued the sieges in Syracuse, by Lazura, and Campus Getae, but in the meantime I have been gathering the rest of my forces over here in Italy. I've had my my units arrive from Carthage, the army at Capua, the chariot armies, a load of the old Roman generals gathered together with the British guys. We've just brought our forces together over here, ready for the finale next time. And the main reason they're there already is because I really don't want to do anything and then press end turn, because pretty much every time I do a battle now, afterwards it won't end the turn because, well, the remaster isn't really much of a remastering, is it? Let's be honest. Fine. So what that should mean is next time we're going to try and get everything done in the same turn as this one, just to for my own sanity, really. Anyhow, on that note of finishing things off for the day, we've still got, I don't know, 10 minutes left in order to murder a few factions. So let's make this the year of how many factions is it? 3 so far? Brutii, Pontus, and Seleucids. Yeah, so I'll make it the year of 4 kings. Year of 4 kings can start off then with the Thracians. Should be a pretty simple affair. You know, there's a few of them in here. So yeah, let's head in. Let's kill these guys properly. And as our Thracians go to pick up the Peltas, they are getting a little bit caught out by the Cav, but just about managed to escape it before the inevitable slaughter arrives. So in we go. We have men at all angles. Thracians are apparently just sort of strolling really into the enemy, which isn't really the plan at this point. There we go. They're breaking. Honestly, we have way too many spearmen for this. I mean, the Misha Hoplites might have proved themselves to be useless on the remaster, even against cavalry like this, and these are only really medium cav, but they're just about doing the job here today. Although we said that there's a lot of red numbers on here. Oh well, we'll work our way through, then we'll slaughter them eventually. Apparently the general's dead, but there was no cutscene, so who knows what's happening at this point. But apparently we have murdered him. That's the most important thing. Let's get these infantry down here, because they're supposed to be the flankers, thank you very much. Not supposed to be taking them on face on. No. Not that really matters, because in the end, you know what, it really doesn't matter. There he goes, hacked in the face. And that, my good sirs, is the end of the Thracians. I suspect the faction leader wasn't the general, but I think they're automatically going to be the commander. Oh well, we've got a few men left. There's a few pikey peoples to take us out. Are we just going to stand at the front and die? I think we're going to stand at the front and die. We'll let them slowly figure out how to win this, but it's basically their own kind hacking them to death, which is basically how the rebels should work. And the Year of the Four Kings takes itself a new scalp. Of course, I say the year. It should have been all within 1 year, but yes, all this crashing has caused me a few problems. So we'll exterminate that, About Thrace, indeed. They are now destroyed. Whether they had anyone else standing around, I don't know. It said that was 3/4 of their strength in the little speech before, so I assumed I would have got something, but I don't know where it is, if it indeed does exist. So there we are, that's the Campus Getae now under our control. That is marvellous. And what's next on the list? It's Bylazora, likewise. 3 generals in here. Now, this is not a great army, but it should still be enough. Let's head in. Right, we now have them running into us, and for some reason they haven't put their pikes down, which was a little bit ludicrous of them. They have now, but they're now within our range as well, so not quite sure what they think they're doing. Allies are also being rather stupid right now, but come on. Anytime you want to sort of arrive, that'd be great. You know, poke them. Maybe stabby, poke. That's the whole plan, my good sirs. These guys are going to arrive as well, and with that, the entrance has been cleared out. Lovely stuff. Now, we do have several generals to kill, so we're going to have to get this hoplite trap working nicely today. Otherwise, we're going to have ourselves a few routes, but we do have plenty of generals of our own to make sure we finish them off. A little skirmish with their lances then as we prepare ourselves over at this part of the world. We should probably, my good sirs, get ourselves over here, actually, because it looks like they are coming off in this direction very, very soon indeed. So, yeah, a couple of them are going to escape. But by and large, we seem to be in the right position, which is lovely. Maybe they want to come to us. That would probably be ideal. Interestingly, there's been a unit of militia hoplite standing here ready for me, and I've completely been ignoring them. They could have jabbed my generals to death at any point, but they didn't, alas. So let's not worry about them. Or actually, maybe let's slightly pay attention to them. Just leave one unit at the back here just to do some guard duty. Everyone else, though, let's keep on plodding forward, and we'll just walk slowly into the enemy. That should be fine on this occasion, seeing as we are a big pile of spikes. So let's get our general to run up in that direction. Make sure he's just giving us a tiny bit of support. Let's go and get these Illyrians over here, just to make sure that is covered if we need it. Yeah, they're now charging in. We're routing in spite of the fact that we've got 1,000,000 spears. Just charge in there. Blow the horn of destiny. Get on top of that. Hopefully the sheer amount of spikes is enough. It's a bit of a mess. Bit of a massacre. And only one unit breaking right now, which is somewhat surprising. But we'll just speed this up and see how the cookie crumbles. There he goes, apparently. There he goes officially. And I think we're just about managing to pull this one off. Oh dear, we've lost quite a few men so far, haven't we? And they'll lose a few as they run off at this particular moment of the battle. Our cav, honestly, I don't really mind if they die, but I'd rather we get the infantry in as much as possible. So let's just get the infantry moving forward. Keep on giving them the old pokey, please. I forgot to give orders to these guys at the back, but it turns out that the Illyrians have got themselves involved and have done the job anyway, which is marvellously kind of them. Very helpful indeed. Strip all of our infantry and start moving towards the peasants on the plaza. These chaps, I think, about the last ones to go. So we're going to get a cav over here. We'll line everyone up, and that'll be absolutely marvellous. In we go overcharge, then take out the last of these peasants. They're going flying, and yes, essentially the Macedons are now no more. Of course, Macedonian rebels lie around all parts of the world at this point, but the faction is no more. And thus there were no more Macedons left to conquer. Indeed, Alexander will be turning in his grave as we burn down his people. Bylazora then is as it's the year of 5 kings, although I think technically we did kill the Scipiones leader in there, but we're not going to count that one. Right, I'll finish off today. Obviously, we're pretty much set up outside Rome for the finale, but I think it's time to head into Syracuse as well. Proper walls, but to be honest, only one governor and half a unit of hoplites. We should be fine. Let's take them out. Not much of a battle has taken place yet, by the way. I've just taken the walls off an empty city, but the general's just wandering around by himself. He does have 25 bodyguard overall, and yet he's just trying to walk through this house. Oh dear. Well, at least as we stroll in this direction, we might just kill him before the battle even starts. Indeed, we are now just taking on the general in the corner of the street here. Are his friends coming to join? They are indeed, which, to be honest, isn't really ideal, because I'd quite like to face them properly. There he goes. Brilliant view of the last Greek there. And press on the attack. Well, I think it's time for us to pull back, actually, and let the infantry take care of this, I would say. They are coming forward, so we'll just go into phalanxy mode. That will be marvellous, you chaps. Turn into him. There we go. And now we'll be fine. Okay, so the old phalanx trap over here, which was set up, is not really going to come to much use, is it? No, I don't think so. How are we on the general here? He's down to 17 and he's broken. That's what we want to see. And yes, the last Greek man. Well, I say that. There's a couple of other Greeks who are floating around on the map. They'll become my friends very, very soon. But as for the rest of them, this is the last standing Greek. The last one who stood for their great united, apparently, great united peoples. Slowly, slowly then, we're making our way. Definitely got the weight advantage here, pushing through them. Javelins in the back, that is not doing them any good, really. Going to wake up with a bit of a pain in your back after that. And the generals finally actually bothered to arrive. And with that, pretty much the battle's over anyway, my good sir. Pull yourself around the side. Yes. No, just going to get yourself killed by running through the middle of a phalanx. Okay, that's how we do things. Not that it matters. As you might expect, there probably won't be a follow-up kind of campaign after this to finish off all the rest of the factions. I just don't think the game is going to be able to handle it. But we have ourselves a Spanish city. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. So, okay, some long shield cav if I ever had time to recruit them. Yeah, obviously I did the epilogue series, the original, just because of the game crashing. That is unfortunately not going to be possible here. I'd like to finish off Egypt. But oh well, let us head back to the campaign map. Settlement has been captured and it's been taken. There we go. It's been taking ages for that to load up. Let's exterminate the population. And officially, the Greek cities are destroyed. They are no more. And we've got ourselves our good old Eugenius of Sparta and Cleon of Sparta, who we had on the last campaign, of course. Then there's also the faction leader wandering around somewhere. There he is. He's got some Cretan archers with him. Oh, how marvellous. Get yourself over to Segestica, my good friend. Marvellous. Cleomenes of Sparta is also on our side as well. We took Sparta a long time ago, my good sirs. It's a bit rude of you to say you're from Sparta, but I guess you can be now. So, with that, we have taken out 6 factions here today, and I've twice had to go through the hellish reloading process to somehow fix this video together. So next time we will take out Rome and we'll call it a day there, because as I say, remastering could have gone slightly better. I mean, like, crashes just never happened in the original. Just never happened at all. I've never had problems running this game. It's supposed to be the main advantage of this. Alas. Anyhow, we'll enjoy the finale nonetheless. We've got plenty of good forces here to just throw in as much as we possibly can, really. Of course, I'll be leading the cavalry army as ever I would. There are some Samnites here, so if we've got a spare space in one of these forces, you know what, I'll take one along. Why not? We might reallocate him at a later point. But for now, I will leave you. I'm Thomas. This is To Nerd Is To Human, and this has been Remastered Rebels campaign. Thank you, and bye-bye. So what more could you want in the morning than to chop down some Frenchmen? Sir Steve, he stands on the plaza. He will never die, Sir Steve. We will honour you with that great man's moustache. He's not happy. Oh, he flew into the side of the house. That looked really painful. Beautiful.